Well, the top side streets are a dangerous place, so you better tune in to a credible face like this one. Yeah, this one. And you know he's not alone, and they're coming in hot. We got a Lake so Stan and a guy who really likes baseball. I don't know why he likes baseball.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. The Happy Hour show is here. I'm not going to lie. The second we went live, my Wi-Fi flipped me off, and it was real touch and go here until the second the camera was on. Then it was time to go. Who do we got here? We got a full house. We got Fenny's in the house, airplane mode. Mac Attack's here. I like this new trend where people get here early and then just start dropping the lyrics into the song. Like, I like that. I like that a lot. Mac Attack's here. We got Borland in the streets. Checking in from the balcony at my new place, enjoying a beverage. There you go. That sounds very relaxing, Portland. Federico's here. Who else? Jason E. Good to see you. Gene. God, I love Gene. Stachunk here. Forch backstage getting in there. What else we got? Stachunk, Chef Prez, Keith's here. Jan, Iguana, Garen, Ming. All right, we're going to get started. We're going to get started. Too late. Regulator, what's up? From Djibouti? Hell yeah. Let's go, Regulator. This is still remains international. What's up, Soul Bro? Well, this is what we got. We've got like a jam-packed happy hour show. I like that this went from a total winging it hour every Friday to now aggressively planned. Really the only thing that we have that's planned. Well, so the second half of the show, we're going to have our man Michal come on. We also have somebody named Bagged Wine, who's usually in the chat, is going to come on. We're going to talk some F1. But to kick things off, because I don't know if you guys have your announcements turned on, but we got some sweet roadmap news, and I'm very excited to bring on our friend Kevin to chat some WNBA on the WNBA tip-off night. Kevin, what's going on, man?
What's up, Mike? How are you doing?
Good, man. It's good to see you. I'm glad you still make time for us. I know you are of Winsider fame now.
I'm a company
Is
guy.
that with merch too?
Yeah, they got merch.
Wow.
Winsider.com. Check it out. They got t-shirts. They got like baby onesies. They got like
we go.
What's the rain jacket called where it's like half zip and it's like anorak. I never know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I would have said windbreaker.
There you go. Should have gone that way. Yep. Keep it simple.
So I think there's a couple things we can get started. Like there's a couple of things to touch upon today, right? They announced the roadmap. I think we can do that a little bit later because I think we should focus on the basketball because that's what I'm excited about. And I'm going to need some help. I think we can build a DraftKings lineup. I think that'll be fun. And then DraftKings, listen, I'm trying to spend more money, so I need better tournaments, okay? Don't just give me this $15. I need some single entry stuff. I need some 3-max stuff. Come on. But what are you most excited about as things tip off today? What is there anything that you like, any storylines that you've been like monitoring or stuff that you're covering that you're like really jacked for the new season?
So I get the Mercury beat for Winsider this year, which, you know, in our team meeting yesterday, I said it was a real blessing because it's only a 17-hour drive to practice. So it's real easy. That's it. Just from Nebraska to Phoenix. It's great.
They know you won't, they can't charter private jets for you. We know that. We learned that last year.
We found that out. Damn Liberty. But they, for the cloud that's over them with the Griner situation, they have a new team with a new coach, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because I really like Vanessa Nygaard. She's been sort of a staple in women's basketball for a long time. So to see what she does with her own team, I think is going to be great. And they still have talent. I mean, Skylar Diggins-Smith is like a dark horse, like MVP candidate. So, and they have the GOAT. They have Tina Charles, who was last year's leading scorer. Like, they're going to do great. So that's something to be hyped about.
How old is the GOAT at this point?
Is she 39? I think so.
Wow. That's so impressive.
Yeah,
that's so
'Cause
impressive.
then
But yeah,
Sue Bird
I'm
is still older. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Mhm.
But Skylar Diggins-Smith too, I'm excited about because I feel like we saw some flashes there a little bit where like potential to take over games again. And I like let full disclosure, I watched the playoffs aggressively and then cherry picked regular season games. So all of my takes come from a very small sample size.
But you're going to a game.
But I'm going to a game tomorrow, which I now realize because I think the game's at 7. This is going to be, I imagine, and I want to intoxicated sounds too much. There's going to be a lot of basketball, but because it's at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, I feel like I'm going to have to get over there early so we can watch the Celtics game, which then rolls in. We go to the Liberty game, and then the second the Liberty game goes over, we've got Grizzlies and Warriors. So I think there's just going to be a lot of basketball consumed in Brooklyn bars tomorrow, outside as well as the Barclays Center.
That you should not have it any other way on like a Saturday in May, though. Like that's
I'm ready for it. And they all we play in a softball league, and that game already got canceled because of the rain. So it's work. All things coming up.
Hell yeah,
tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
But I'm hearing this from the chat. I don't know if you saw anything. I missed the announcement they're doing a flash challenge for tonight. Did that officially come out?
It was in a tweet that it did come out. It sounds like it's going to be a weekend flash challenge. I don't think they gave any info about like if this is like surrounding points or any other statistical line, but it's going to be involving teams that are playing this weekend. So there's some conversation in the Discord about which teams have 2 games, like tonight and Sunday, and sort of looking at players to pick and choose from out there. Yeah. So Mike, what are you hyped about when it comes to the W this season? Like, what are you excited for?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I feel like I have a better grasp on things now that because of Top Shot, which is something we've talked about for a long time, right? I think that a lot of people get introduced to I was aware of the W, obviously, and I would always get into the playoffs, but now I like have a better feel for who like the 6th and 7th people are on teams where before that wasn't the case. So I'm really hyped to just have a better understanding as the games are happening. I think because of that and because of our partnership with Underdog, I'm just going to be a little bit more active in the gambling sides of things too, which always speaks to me. I'm really excited though to see what WNBA Top Shot does. I think there's going to be an initial, like I'm concerned. My only concern right now is I think that the W set is currently propped up because of the big collector score stuff. And I think like everything else, not just the W, everything in the market is coming down a little bit, that people are going to see that. And then we'll hear like the normal like FUD complaints. And so I just hope people are like ready for that. And are like, it's just because they're like, we're getting second moments of people now, or, and so that's going to happen. So I hope our brains are wrapped around that and that we're okay with that, where if like, the 20 points don't matter as much as they used to, or whatever. But I'm more excited for like team set type stuff. Like if we're able to, I don't know, just like the same way we get to interact daily with NBA Top Shot, I'm looking forward to interacting daily with WNBA Top Shot,
Absolutely. And I think your point is right. I mean, we're going to get most of these moments that we're getting over the summer aren't going to have TSDs attached to it.
Right.
Like Best of set had. And that's what does that do? Because I think if you look at the run it back set, like the fouls, the Nikkei Gumike's, the players who are like currently playing who don't have like a TSD badge attached to that top. Sorry, car alarm.
Hey, somebody's just honking on the horn. I can see it happening like right past my window, and I'm like, I tried to mute.
No, good timing. It was great. I shouldn't have called it out. But those 2 moments are sort of like consistently like some of the lower ones in that set. And I don't know what that does to the marketplace, but that Dapper sort of seems to have their shit together for the start of the season. In terms of flash challenges and an actual roadmap, which I mean, if you want to dig into it all, like I think these rare sets look looks super cool. And I would be hyped to make that
sure.
happen.
I forgot I had this open right now, but we're giving away 2 moments this stream. All right. So we're going to be giving away this Kelsey Michal right here. Shout out Kevin Forch. And then this, we're going to give away a run it back as well. The teacher, is it Pichinero?
Yeah,
Penichiero?
that's as close as I can get. Yeah,
I know.
So the cool thing about like the WNBA is that like they have like pronunciation guides for like all these current players on their site. These historical players, I don't remember how to pronounce her name. Yeah, she's still active on Twitter though.
We'll give away both of those. Actually, I'm going to do one thing before we go over it. We'll give away one at the beginning, like one as we wrap up our W talk when we get to that point, and then one towards the end of the stream. But we wanted to get the W going in the right way, you know. So what we'll do while we start going over this, you need to like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold, and then just throw WNBA into the chat. You don't even have to put hashtag this time. Just WNBA. Throw that into the chat.
You got to share Queisenberg's comment. He's throwing alpha.
Ooh, where's he got?
That Kelsey.
Take Michal. Kelsey. Ooh, Fever are extremely short-handed in the backcourt. So I know I'm like all over the place because we were just about to get into the roadmap. I am fascinated on the DFS side of things because I don't think there's the same amount of information available as there is for the, I mean, I guess it's available. It's not covered in the same way that the NBA information is covered. And so I feel like there are edges in this more so than other ones.
So let's like, even if you, I haven't built my DraftKings lineup yet. In transparency, I built FanDuel before work this morning, and they still had Crystal Dangerfield like on the links, and like all these roster cuts that happened like on Tuesday or Wednesday, they hadn't updated rosters for. So there's going to be a handful of people who are looking at like some players at like 4,000 that aren't even on that team. Like Dangerfield's on a completely different team right now, but she's still listed.
Did she get picked up?
She got picked up by the Fever.
Okay.
So she's gonna, and I think it was today. So like she probably isn't gonna even play tonight.
Can't be cutting the rookie of the year. Okay, this isn't a Michael Carter-Williams situation. You can't be. It's like a good rookie of the year.
Yeah, take MCW like as far away from Dangerfield as possible.
Yeah,
let's not do
that. All right, so let's like quickly glance over and let's do while I scroll. What was some of your TLDRs from the roadmap? Like, what was the stuff that got you the most hype from taking a look at this?
I mean, the most hype. I think Top Shot is the only entity that's excited about the Commissioner's Cup, the in-season tournament, because still no one knows like what that means. But I would say like what I mentioned it earlier, like what I'm hyped about is these rare sets that we're getting. The 2008 Candace Parker run it back season where she won Rookie of the Year and MVP. In the same season, like that's a great year to pull from too, because we still get Prime, Sue Bird, Dana Taurasi. We still get a lot of those same like top 25 players. I think it was also Sylvia Fowles rookie season in the league. So we still get a lot of great and familiar players, and I think that gives us an opportunity to. There's more history to the W than who was just on that top 25 list from last year. Exactly. You get big time Becky Hammond. You even get like the Simone Augustus players or things like that to get another moment and look at them. So I'm interested in that. I'm interested in what this other set sounds like. It's the requirements for it sound very MGLE. You get the top 3 players from every team.
Oh, is this the fandom?
This is in the rare set. There's a current one. There's 2 rare sets. Which will feature 1 to 3 players per team, limited to 25 moments in the set. These moments will be minted to $4.99. And it sounds like they're not calling it MGLE, but it's going to be something very similar. That sounds cool.
And the game recognized game in there too, as well, which is very exciting. And to do it for a rare set, I think is cool because I think that was one of the things that bummed me out a little bit about the game recognized game. I mean, I don't know, maybe I go back and forth, but yeah, it's cool. Klay Thompson is narrating a moment, but when 25,000 people have that moment, you're like, okay, like
how great
fine.
is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
And
shut up, Poker Pro Eric, who is watching from behind. But I'm glad you're commenting now.
and
But
I
yeah,
just remained hyped for inner bag for last year. Was it last year's playoffs was just an awesome moment anyway. And to have a set like that, a legendary set, come out sort of as we were all hyped about the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing, and I'm glad that we get to relive that for this fall.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I like it doesn't seem like we're getting too many moments too. There's recap right here, right? So we're getting a new base set, or I guess technically it's the first base set because they don't count the best of as one. That's going to be capped at 10K. An archive set that's going to run out with the run it back. And then for the fandom, we've got Rise With Her, a set comprised exclusively of Flash Challenge rewards. So kind of like the Metallic Silver Fandom Edition. And then we've got an All-Star, the Commissioner's Cup, like you said, that people are learning about for the first time. And then we've got Run It Back Game, Recognized Game, the Premier Rare, and then the Legendary Inner Bag. And I like it. I feel like this isn't too much,
Right.
Like I think we're still easing into it. I like that it's getting a basic common set, though. I think that's important. I'm fascinated to see how like pack sales go, like for these common ones too, because out of 10,000 is gonna. Because what were the best of 2021? Were those?
Oh man,
Were
were
those
those
12,500, like 11,000, something like that? So, yeah, I'll be curious to see how this rolls out. But again,
and I think
most
we talked
excited for
about.
the Open.
Oh, go ahead.
No, just like most excited for like the daily interaction that we're going to get with this now. So it looks like we're getting the right amount of pack drops. We're getting flash challenges throughout. I don't know. I think I'm excited. And J7 asks if we think the WNBA gets a better TSS value. Yeah, I don't, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I cannot speculate on TSS at all.
No.
I'm confused by the existence of it. I'm confused with direction and whispers and the way all that's going. So
yeah,
I won't even try. I think one thing that's cool, we talked about this in a previous Watcher Work, is that just making any W set just part of the regular Top Shot calendar, not making it its own like summer set to something just sort of
right.
like live outside the NBA set, but to sort of have it be right alongside. I think that's a cool legitimacy for the moments and everything.
Don't count it in the same. It's not the same as Summer League,
Yeah.
Don't put it in the same category as Summer League, because I think I think the Summer League thing was awesome, but it was also exhibition, and that's not what the W is. So I'm with you. It does. It feels like, I mean, the rollout for this, honestly, the rollout for this was better than the rollout for Top Shot for like the NBA season this season. So to get like information like this the day the season starts with a flash challenge ready to go. The only other thing, I keep firing this idea out. I said it I thought the NBA should have done this for this year. Like the first day the season starts, throw the run it backs out. Like do the run it back drop that day. Make it like an event, because clearly you can't do events. I mean, moments, because games haven't happened yet, but do the run it back ones.
I agree. It's cool that it's happening like this month, but like I bet that they have that stuff like together. And if we did some kind of drop, like even just like right now as we're talking, like as you have in the sort of drop screen, whoever's like hosting that particular show, like prep for the evening's games, like that builds a lot of hype for an opening night. So that would have been a great idea.
Yeah. Let's listen. We keep firing out. I wouldn't say we keep firing out great ideas. We keep firing quantity over quality is what we've always said here.
I was ready to say big brains a carrion, but if we're not ready to jump there,
I'll take it. All right. What do you think we should do? You want to mess around with some underdog first?
Let's do some underdog. Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right. So we're again, if you let's do a little refresh. If you are unfamiliar with underdog, let me close my email out of here so nobody tries to email me. But if you're not familiar with Underdog, you can sign up using our promo code HOLD, and you'll get a deposit match. So if you put in $10, they'll give you a free $10 while you're also supporting us. And it looks like they got a special line tonight, which you know what? I'm gonna say this. Normally it's like this pitcher will throw at least one pitch, or Tyler Hero will get 1 point. Dorian Finney-Smith needs at least 1 point, rebound, or assist. I think he had a total of 2 or 3 last game. So this isn't as clear cut as it usually is.
Not as special.
But you can only use this special one time, right? So put it in your pick that you feel most confident with. But let's go over to the WNBA first. And what was it? Kelsey
Yes.
Mitchell? We're supposed to take the overs on, right?
I would hit the overs on probably her points. The 16 and a half is probably that's probably about as high as I will go with it. But
Yeah.
for Indiana, they had 6 wins last season, and they drafted 7 players in this draft. So they have more new players on their team than wins last
Wow.
year. And only
That's
4
wild.
players who logged minutes are back for this season. Kelsey Mitchell, one of them. So it's going to be just
right.
it's going to be a ton of rookies playing. That's the only Indiana pick I'm taking.
All right, so we'll throw Kelsey. That's it for Indiana. You can tell it's a lot of new people because we're not getting a lot of faces here.
Yep.
And then we move over to Washington. Now this one's tough, right? Because we know so Deldon's not playing back-to-backs right now, or they're like easing her in, right? But she's not necessarily on a minute restriction.
Correct. And when she suited up for their preseason game, she only played like 18 minutes, but had like 26 points or something like that. Like she lit it up when she was on the floor. I have hesitation to like. I don't think I'm going to play Deldon tonight. I think what I am going to play, if you scroll down, Misha Hines-Allen at 5.5 rebounds seems like the easiest over like on the board. There's another super easy one we'll get to at some point, but that seems she averaged like 7.5, 8 last year. Just anytime she sees the floor, like she's grabbing boards. She's
all right. It's locked in.
Mm-hmm.
It's locked in. So Hines-Allen, where are we going next?
Let's scroll down. I think our next game on there is going to be Sparks and Sky, which last year's champ and like probably the most exciting team for this year in LA is going to be hyped. And I think it's absurd that Liz Cambage is at 13.5 points for this.
Smashing the over here.
You smashed the over. Yeah. If she was at like 24 points, I would still be like,
wow,
she might do it. She's how many 3 or 4 years away from like being like the second leading scorer in the league. I mean, she holds the record for most points in a single game. Like she can score, and she's the focal point of this team. So go for it. And Kleisenberg is right. The worst thing about the Sparks is their coach. I'm not going to swear on here, but like,
thank you. This is family friendly.
Derek Fisher, man, come on. I know
Derek Fisher is the worst, dude. Derek Fisher is the worst.
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right, so we got Liz in there. So that that puts us at 3 right now. So we get the Kelsey Mitchell over, the Hines-Allen over, the Liz Cambage over.
Do we want to find an under?
Yeah, you can find an under.
Yeah, let's keep scrolling down, see if you can find an under. Some of these for points especially, they seem to be hitting pretty high. The Asia Wilson, she could score 30 tonight. She could score 12 tonight. Just because we don't know with Becky Hammond, like what's the rotations look like with this new team. I think the Erica Hamby gets a lot of minutes. The Kelsey Plum, her 21.5 points, rebounds, assists seems high for.
Oh, man, you're gonna make me hit a Kelsey Plum under. That's my favorite.
Making you. We're talking out loud. We're talking out loud. Man. We haven't even touched like Seattle. Like we can scroll down to like Seattle. I think they have some too.
You know what? Hold on. I wasn't going to do this. I was just going to ignore it. But you know what, Prashant? Now, bro, I'm talking about you instead of the WNBA. And I would say that's worse. So instead of having content around your comments, Prashant, I'm going to keep doing the thing I'm good at. And you're just going to shut up. All right. Sorry. Let's keep going.
No, you're right. That was like the Paramount Plus of comments. Like,
yeah, it's like he tuned into a WNBA stream and then it's like, bro, we're talking about the WNBA.
Oh, if you would like to talk about the WNBA while Mike's Wi-Fi is out, how about you join Team Hold every Tuesday night, 8:30 Central? Kelsey and I will talk W all the time for a full ass hour. So Prasad, come on over. We'd love to have you. Look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah. Also, we do 15 streams a week, and I would say 14 of them are about the NBA playoffs. God damn. All right. Anyways, Kevin, I'm not hitting Kelsey Plum under. I'm not gonna.
All right, we're moving on. Yeah, I don't want you to compromise your values. Yeah.
No. Tina Charles, a 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Wow.
Yeah. What's her? Does she actually have points up? 22.5 points. That's steep.
Under.
That's if you look at betting lines, this game is the game that's by far the highest over under for the evening. I think by about like 30 points too. Like they're expecting these two to like flip and go off. So I think.
All right. Man, that's scary.
I think I'm still scrolling, and we can come back to Tina Charles. We have a whole ass other game to go through.
There's a lot of games tonight.
A lot of games tonight. The Natalie Chanwa points, rebounds, assists. Minnesota is in huge disarray with their roster and everyone being hurt and overseas. That's potentially an under to hit.
Okay.
Like I'm not hitting any under. What's that?
So this might be like a blowout situation, you think?
I think I just don't think Achan was that good. Honestly,
Right,
I mean, she's the highest paid player on Minnesota, but like I don't think that she's
under 7.5 points.
I would definitely do the points, rebounds, and assists before I did the
Under
7.5 points. There you go. Yeah,
there we go.
We got it.
All right, let's see. There is one more. No, that's the last game of the night. All right,
that's the last game. Yep.
So that puts us at 4. We'll leave it there right there. So this is going to be 10 to win 100. We'll do that. Would love to win one of these. So Kevin, if this goes well, you'll have to come on every show. So we're doing over 16.5 for Kelsey Michal, over 5.5 for Hines Allen rebounds, Liz over 13.5 points, and Natalie under 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah. In Kwisenberg,
wow.
I think I'm wrong. Fouls is probably still Cord and probably the highest paid player, but the Achanwa contract, if you look at it, is just it's hot garbage. Like I don't love it.
I'm gonna remind the people quickly. So we have we get a couple giveaways that we're gonna do. We're gonna do one here in a minute as we wrap up our W talk. So go ahead if you haven't liked the stream yet. If you haven't subscribed to Team Hold, which Prashant probably unsubbed, and then you have to just put WNBA into the chat. But apparently, the challenge is live now. So let's go see. Let's see what we got here. Rise and shine.
Put W on there. God,
wait, what?
Oh, Prashant, you deserve the Kelsey moment.
There we
now.
Go.
Like, bring it.
Yeah, I'm right. You know what? This has been. What a character arc. I'm now rooting for Prashant, I think.
Oh my God. What a turn. Like the opposite of a heel turn. There we go.
So here we go. What are we going to need? We are going to need with one moment, any moment of the leading scorer in each W game across Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It'll be a total of 9 moments. So there you go. Did they say the reward here? Is it a pack? To earn the first Series 4 WNBA. Oh no, Fandom Challenge reward. So it's the first challenge reward.
Yep. So make sure if you don't have your best of set at this point, make sure you have a player from at least every game this week, like the Sparks and Aces, Sun, Lynx, Mystics. You know, all those schedules that we just went through. Make sure you got one of those players.
Yeah. Here we go. Achanwa is 3rd on the team. Fold is 5th behind McBride and Powers. Wow. Yeah. And I mean, I'm bagging on Achanwa, but like she's been a good player in the past. She's an incredible human. If you ever watch the 144 doc on ESPN, she features prominently in it and is a cool, just amazing human, but like her play now does not warrant that contract. Listen, we're not anti-Achanwa. We're anti-Achanwa's stats tonight. So
right.
Win that.
Over-unders, yeah.
Pick'ems. That's what we are anti. All right. So, Kevin, Tuesdays, 8:30 from here on out?
8:30 Central. 9:30 does that work out to 9:30 East? I don't know how shit works.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
That's how it works. All right, great.
Yeah. I think we only do the math going west, right? So like you're able to calculate Mountain Time and Pacific Time, but not Eastern Time because it's going the other direction. I get it.
Exactly. That's you described how my brain works. There we go. Yeah. So we're there weekly, hour on the WNBA. If you like this, you will love hanging out with us. We're going to be excited to have like all kinds of over-unders to do again. We're going to be doing DraftKings, FanDuel lineups, and look forward to seeing you there.
Awesome. And Kevin is responsible for this Kelsey Michal giveaway. So let's spin this right now. And Kevin, they can find you at Kevin Forch. They should also follow the Watch Her Work, Twitter account, and check out some Winsider stuff because Kevin's been like he's a content machine now. And if you win this, shoot me a DM either at Mike Zakarian or in the Discord, assuming you're already in the Discord. Oh, Prashant, I don't think it's happening for you. It's Doc Delta.
Oh, there you go, Doc.
Doc Delta. But don't worry if you we still have a run it back moment we're going to give away as we get towards the end of this. All right. Kawaisenberg has also had a fun little arc here. He said, I'm a moron. That was total contract value, not annual value. Foles is the top paid player by 4K over McBride and Powers. There you go.
You're not a moron because I do the same thing when I try to look at contracts in the W. I may be a moron. I don't know, but I don't think you are.
No, we're not morons here, guys.
Okay. All right.
We're all friends. All right. If you could only watch one W game, we'll get you on this. If you could only watch one tonight, where should we direct the people?
We're watching the Aces in Mercury tonight. Like they're going to be points scored. They're goats in attendance, and watching Becky Hammond's first foray as a coach.
Yeah,
what's not to love?
And for everyone that's like, yeah, but the NBA's on. It's Heat Sixers, so I feel like you could sit that one out. That is not an enjoyable series to watch. Is the Aces Mercury the one that's going to be on NBA TV? Because I know there's. Yep. Yeah, so awesome. There you go. So there you go.
And if you're watching the NBA, WNBA League Pass is like $25 for the season.
Incredible.
And you watch all the replays regardless of where they're broadcast. So do that.
We love that. We love that. All right, Kevin, thanks for coming on. We'll get you back on a happy hour soon, and then everybody remember to watch your work Tuesdays at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central.
That's right. Thanks
awesome, man. Me. All right, take care, Kevin. Shout out Kevin. We love Kevin. Has been an integral. He's been a good ad. I don't know what the right word is. A good ad to the community. We love having him here. All right, and also they were the first people to get an actual athlete on the show, so they win. Although the athlete immediately got cut from the team and then put on a new team, so I don't know. We might have to address that. But we're excited to keep moving. So the second half of the show, we are going to talk some F1. Integral. It doesn't sound right. I feel like I'm having a stroke. We're going to talk some F1. We've got the Miami Grand Prix. And to do that with us today, we have Michal. We're also going to have a special guest coming on in a little bit who's been excited to come on and talk F1. But let's do it. Michal, what is going on, man?
Good afternoon. I just finished watching the free practice one.
Yeah.
The track looks great. It's fast. It's sketchy at times, but that's good.
I was watching some stuff this morning, and it seems like they've got 3 straightaways, like 3 DSR spots.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's gonna be a little bit feisty. And speaking of feisty, we got a guest coming on. I'm very excited. We're gonna bring on James. James, what is going on, man?
Hey, not much, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I know you have been pushing us for F1 content for a long time, and I'm glad we finally got here and glad to get you on here with Michal and myself.
Hello, James.
So with Miami this weekend, I feel like there's been mixed reviews, though. Is it just like the not the old school, but like the purist of the F1 community? They're like, we don't want new. Like, there's too many races. We don't want Miami. Because I've been seeing a little bit of buzz about that. Have you been seeing anything like that?
I think, yeah. First of all, like here in Europe, we just like are shocked how you guys do sports in America. It's just whole other level. Like, you know, the hype and everything. So this is definitely the most hype F1 event I remember in my career watching. But also like Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, is it hyped because Americans are just yelling a lot? Is that why it's hyped, or is it hyped
No,
internationally as well?
there's like, a lot of a lot of stars invited, a lot of like
Mm,
social media influencers and so on. There's advertisement everywhere, and everybody's buzzing about it. So it's I think it's good for the Formula One. But of course, the elitists, European Formula One, fans for decades are like, Americans, they have too many tracks. It's
yeah,
stupid. It's a car park. Like, screw this stuff.
I love it. What about you, James? What have you been seeing about the upcoming race?
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of buzz on it. Everyone seems to be enthusiastic about it. Some of the people in the area, I don't think, are too thrilled. It's not in a real economically it's not in a great area. A lot of
Yeah,
people are saying, hey, be careful when you go up there. You're not exactly in. It's not the same as downtown Miami, so be
right.
careful up there. But oh yeah, the buzz has been really great on it. We'll have to see how it pans out because America's run quite a few F1 races over the years, and there's been a tough time with them sticking.
Mm,
We've had parking lot racing in Las Vegas 40 years ago. We had one in Dallas. We've had one in Phoenix. We
yeah,
had the one in Detroit. This looks like it was pretty well done. One of the key things is the money behind it. Is how much is the people going to be able to continue to run it? Because
yeah,
F1 trying to run F1 races and make money on them can be quite a bit of a problem because they get a lot of there's a large sponsor fee that you got to pay.
right.
But as long as there's the money behind it, tickets sold out immediately. It seems like for it, and on the aftermarket, if you want to go tomorrow, it's about $280, and it's going to be $45 just to park out there. So
Wow.
it's not for the working class. It's going to be for the upper class and for the rich. It's going to be a little expensive to get
It
in
is.
there.
It's so embarrassing that it really takes a Netflix show for America to just get jacked up because that's really what happened. And then now they've almost like Hollywooded it. Like it's been like Michael Jordan's down there putting on helmets and stuff, and it really is. Like as Michal said, this has been like the American experience. Like that's what we're seeing in Miami. But race wise, I'm kind of excited. Like I think this is with all these straightaways that we're going to be seeing on this one. It feels like this is built for Red Bull, just because that seems to be where they dominate is on these types of tracks with these straightaways. So I don't know, what do you guys have any like fun predictions or takes about what we're about to witness this weekend? I guess Michal first. Now that we have two people, I got to direct this stuff. I can't just open end questions anymore. Michal, what do you think?
Yeah, so Red Bull has been better so far on the long straights, and they have higher top speed. But Mercedes is looking surprisingly good in the free practice today. Like the car looks much more stable. They brought some updates. Like most team didn't brought updates to America because it's like hard logistically to bring new parts and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But they brought like some heavyweight updates, and that car looks sticked properly. Like so they may actually mess up the setup order so far. That's gonna
Ooh,
be cool to see.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. What about you, James?
Yeah, right now Leclerc is one of the faster times out there from the first practice session. Red Bull was strong. One of the things that I think needs to be looked at is driver fitness. It's going to be close to 90 degrees with about 70% humidity on Sunday, and it might actually rain later in the day. But that's pretty tough. We haven't seen conditions like this, I think, since probably they ran in Malaysia I guess it's been about 4 or 5 years ago since they stopped running the Malaysian Grand Prix.
Yeah,
So I think driver fitness by the end of the day is going to be key. So maybe, may not be the best race for Fernando being one of the older drivers, or maybe even Lewis, but I think Lewis is probably one of the top drivers as far as fitness. But I would look for the younger guys that are going to be hopefully, might be in better shape come the end of the day. But it's looking like it's going to be a great race, and everybody up there, they already said that they were expecting lap times around 135, and they're already down under 130 on the lap time. So the simulations have
wow,
kind of gone out the window. So they're running a lot faster, even in the warmth of the afternoon with on the soft tires.
wow. Yeah, that is fast. That is fast. I didn't. You know what's funny? I didn't even take into account like the physical conditions that we're going to see, because one of my I was looking at the potential projections of what this weekend was going to look like, and I was sneaky. I was like, maybe Alpine has a shot at making some noise this weekend. But if old man Fernando is is struggling out there. Maybe that's not the right move. Maybe it's like the Landos of the world that are the young bucks. Might be a tough scene.
Well, Mike, you're the expert because you got me by about 25 points right now in the Team Hold
On
F1
fantasy?
fantasy. So I
You
don't
know
know.
what?
Maybe I should listen to your picks more than mine.
Yeah, I'm so bad at it because, and like I might be doing well, but I forget to update my picks before I realize that it locks after qualify. Like you got to do it before qualifying, and I've yet to update it because I think to update it before the race, and I'm like, damn it, I'm locked in. So I've locked in Leclerc. I've locked in my McLaren boys, and I think Gasly I still have in there. I root for Gasly. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because he got cut from Red Bull, and that was like in the first season of the show that I watched. So I'm like, I got to root for this guy. But I feel like he's had some tough luck early on. Gasly he really hasn't run too hot, and so I don't know. Maybe Miami will be good for him.
Yeah.
We got a question from Prashant who said, "Why is our man Lewis Hamilton not doing as well?" Which was, I think and I'd love to hear both of your takes on this, but he's built up this reputation of being so dominant, and I know he's come off to a tough start. But I was looking at the championship, the scoring at the point, and I was shocked to see that Mercedes is actually in third right now. And I was like, oh yeah, they've been off to a terrible start. They've been so bad. And I'm like, oh, they're in third. But yeah, James, what have you been any like takes on what's going on over in Mercedes? I know Russell's running a little bit better than Hamilton, but is this just a slow start, or do you think this is like a full season thing?
Well, it's hard to say. We'll have to see how they get the car worked out. They've brought some mods for the front wing that hopefully is going to reduce the porpoising of the car, and I think that's kind of what has held Lewis back. A lot of times drivers are good because of the style of car and the way the car is designed.
Yeah.
That's been one of the comments like at Red Bull, while no one has really been getting close to Max over the years. That car is built for the way Max drives the car. You saw this, Sebastian Vettel is a great example. When he was at Red Bull, he was unbeatable. The way the car was designed, the way he fit with that car was perfect. He moves on the Ferrari, somewhat successful. Moved on to Aston Martin, not successful at all. A lot of times it's drivers and cars matchups. And if you've got the right style and the right design on the car, they're going to match up well. This is the first change in 7 years to the cars with the new aerodynamic regulations. And Lewis just may not match up that well. I mean, he'll get it worked out, I think, in time, but it might not be soon enough for him to compete for the title. But certainly it'll allow Mercedes to compete for the constructors if he can get it turned around soon.
What about you, Michal? You are not a Mercedes fan too. You're a Red Bull fan. So are you just like basking in this glory right now?
No, I'm like more like fan of a sport. Like,
Yeah.
of course, I like Red Bull maybe because I really remember that period of like Sebastian dominance and so on, and really like that period. But I would like to see Lewis doing well. I think we need him up there to like steer things up because it's gonna be just more fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I think he's just like as James pointed out, he needs to like kind of figure out his way around those new cars. But I think like mentally he's in a good place. He did just say first class trolling today. Because right now the stewards are looking like to clamp down on all the rules, and they're saying that like drivers shouldn't drive with any jewelry, and like should like remove all the earrings and so on. So today to the press conference, Hamilton came with like 3 watches, and he had rings on every fingers.
That's great.
Just
I love
like-
that. I'm here for that.
I love
My
that
biggest
stuff, yeah.
my biggest concern with Mercedes falling back is I just need more Toto. Like if Mercedes not in the conversation, does that mean we get less Toto interviews? Because I think people are drawn to the drivers, and I'm drawn to Toto. I just want more. I want to be that tall. I want that kind of hair. Like I feel like I'm rooting for him. Is there
This is
like
not
moving
right,
off?
Mike?
What'd you say?
I said, Mike, this is not right.
I know. I just keep hearing. I think Peter Overzet made this joke on Twitter, but he just keeps hearing like he's at the gym and he'll just hear push. Like Toto just keeps saying push throughout this series. That's the only thing I can think of. But like looking big picture outside of just like this weekend in Miami, has there been any storylines that have stood out the most to you, or like anything? Anything that's just like caught your eye? I know this is the 5th race of the season, right? So there's still a ways to go. But any storylines that have popped for you at all? James, is there anything that you've been like the very like you're just like the most intrigued by?
Well, yeah, just getting used to the new cars and the differences. Haas coming back. Haas finally having a place in the points and actually being able to
Yeah.
contend for a while. But it seems to be pretty consistent with most of the Ferrari teams because Alfa Romeo is up a little bit higher than it was.
Mhm.
But they're having some problems. But it's always because Haas is the only American team, no American drivers, but at least the only
Right.
American team. So kind of in the I'm a Max fan and I'm kind of a Ferrari fan. But I don't take it quite as seriously. I kind of like the way where Michal says it's about the racing itself and the better teams and seeing excellence in the racing. But it's always good for as an American to see Haas do well. I always kind of root for them. But
Yeah.
them coming up, the teams getting a handle on stuff. The Mercedes teams having issues. Aston Martin being a complete utter failure. It seems like
Right?
with the amount of
Yeah.
money, with Stroll and the billions he's thrown at that thing. How running their team principal out, and they said that today is the happiest they've seen him since he went over to Alpine. So I don't know how much fun they're having in that team
Yeah.
and over at Aston Martin. And he's throwing a lot of money at us. So they better start seeing some results. The one news that's interesting this week is there's been notification from VW that both Porsche and Audi will be entering in 2026, believe it is, when the new
Mhm.
engine regulations come along, and who they pair up will be interesting. That's just broken this week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. Did VW also have a separate announcement from? Didn't they say something that they like weren't going to pair?
Well, they
Like,
weren't going in as VW. Their brands Porsche and Audi will be going in.
okay, got you. Yeah, yeah. What about Michal? What about you? Anything that like really that you've stood out for you?
I think I really like how Valtteri Bottas, after getting to the like team leader position in Alfa Romeo, is just like open up his wings, and he's like you can see he's like having like a second life in the sport pretty much.
Yeah.
He really like enjoys this position. He has for the first time like long-term contract, has like the stability and can like focus on racing, and it's really nice to see that the team that was supposed to be in the back is doing pretty well, and he's like driving that team and as this mentor position. So that's really cool to see.
Yeah, that's been great seeing. Like because you kind of felt for him, just always being second fiddle. And I think there was, at least for me personally, I assumed he was going to go to a new team. And it's like, we'll see what happens when you're not with Mercedes. Like, welcome to this new car, and that he was just going to get smoked. So to see him continuing to compete and hang in there has been nice. I'm kind of mad at both of you though, because no one mentioned my boy Yuki, and that's the only one I want to talk about. I'm here for Yuki. I need him to stay on the track. He has won my heart. I'm ready to root for him for the next 10 years. He's a basket case. He's yelling at people. He's loving people. I just think that energy in a race car driver has to be just terrible to manage. Like just having somebody like that. But man, he's been so fun.
He was already today shooting at his engineer to shut up because like he wants to drive.
He's the best.
I guess there's a question there. Is Yuki the new Raikkonen?
Is it Michal, what do you think?
I don't know. Raikkonen was like a championship material. So,
True.
But same like hothead energy though, right?
Yeah.
maybe Yuki in a few years is Raikkonen. He needs to get him a couple of W's first.
No, that's a absolutely good point.
Yeah. I like it though. I like it. Yeah, I've really been enjoying the season. I'm hoping, I feel like I root for McLaren quite a bit, and I want them to be able to compete a little bit more. But it really all like 4 races in feels like, okay, this is just going to come down to Ferrari and Red Bull the rest of the way. Like that's going to be the story. And then I guess a fight for third. Like, can Mercedes hang on to third? And I know it's still early, anything can happen, but it feels like it's wrapped at this point between those two.
But also like last 2 weeks ago in Italy, Red Bull for the first time in a long time they had like 1-2. Ferrari didn't manage to get a good point, so they caught up in the championship. Leclerc for the first time made like a big mistake. He was like kind of catching up and he spin out. He managed to save it. He didn't hit the wall, so it was a total catastrophe. But it was pretty big mistake. So you can see that he feels the pressure.
Yeah. So for this weekend, right? We have qualifying. Qualifying is happening tomorrow. That's tomorrow afternoon Eastern Standard Time, right? I think it's like 4 p.m. I should have that locked up in front of me. I don't know. Do either of you guys have what time it starts tomorrow in front of you?
It's in the Team Hold F1 thing. I put it in there earlier
Ooh,
today.
there we go. My man, James. Let me grab this right now. Here we go. All right, here we go. The schedule, right? So we go tomorrow. We have, oh man, wow, it's got everything in here. Look at this. We know what time press conferences starts. All right, qualifying starts at 1600. Good. I'm glad it's in that. But the race on Sunday, we got a drivers. I didn't know they had a drivers parade. But at 15:30 Eastern. So what is that? 3:30 Eastern, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm super excited for this weekend, and I hope it goes well. I'm hoping this is the beginning. Speaking from the the American point of view, this feels like there's more momentum behind it this year than last in the States, anyways. And I'm hoping that's going to continue, and it just becomes more normal over here. I think we're far away from having like American drivers in there or like a successful. I know Haas is, but I think that I feel like that's more of a long-term thing than a short-term thing. But
I think probably the best prospect is Colton Herta, who runs in the IndyCar series. He's Brian Herta's son, who used to run in the series. If you know anything about IndyCar, and he's probably the best prospect right now. Pato O'Ward, also, who runs McLaren, has a team in IndyCar that they co-own.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And Pato O'Ward just won a race, and he's a Mexican driver, but he is probably one of the better prospects for America. I think the big difference has been with this one. I think, Mike, that this kind of you came to it is the Drive to Survive series. We were, talked about earlier on Netflix. I think that really has made a difference in America as far as fandom and basically getting people involved. Because F1's tried over 40 years. They've always seen America as a great market where, with economic capabilities. But they've tried at times. It's never really stuck and it's never been successful. So maybe with Drive to Survive now, they'll finally get enough fans where they can make it viable in America.
Well, and that's why it's embarrassing, because it took a reality TV show to get us on board, and that's exactly what happened. They create, and I mean, shout out to the people that made that, because they did an incredible job of drawing storylines and drama. And there's a lot of drama baked into it now. Like you don't need the Netflix series to see a lot of the dramatic things that are happening, but it definitely like fills in the blanks and colors it for you. But if you've never seen the thing or never seen a race, and you watch an episode of that Drive to Survive, I mean, you're locked in. You get to know these people are characters. They're like, I mean, in any industry where you have to be that at the top of your craft, right? There's always going to be ego involved. And when there's ego involved, there's just hilariousness that comes with it. And that's what happened. I mean, between a reality show and a pandemic, all of a sudden the United States is like, let's go F1, baby. And Kay Dunn saying we need a sequel to the F1 movie with Stallone. There we go.
Oh, no. Oh, please, no. Oh, gosh. Oh, that was so bad.
It was so bad. What was that called again? Was it
that wasn't F1, I believe. It was an IndyCar movie. It was based on IndyCar
movie, yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, Michal, what did you say it was called?
Driven,
I think it was. Yeah, they did it in conjunction with IndyCar, but IndyCar made them change the movie. I had a friend who was an IndyCar official, and they were told, because they wanted to kill a driver, and they said, no, you cannot nobody can die in the movie if you want our cooperation, because that's not what they wanted to promote in the sport, because people occasionally have died in IndyCar, unfortunately. I mean, the last 20 years, it is. Right. And they said, and they're very strict about it. No, if you want our cooperation and access to us, nobody can die in the movie. Though the movie died in and of itself. But yeah, please no.
Oh man, well guys, I appreciate you doing this. This is a lot of fun. It's been exciting for me, just as someone who likes F1, to have a regular chat, and I want to continue doing this when like the Fridays before Grand Prix. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But before we wrap, what are our predictions for the weekend? Who do we have? Michal, we'll start with you. Who do you got this weekend? Give me the podium.
I'm gonna go Checo wins.
Checo, there we go.
Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. That's gonna be my podium.
Ooh, I like it. There we go. What about you, James?
I'll go Sainz to win,
Ooh,
Checo second,
Uh,
and George Russell third.
George, look at that. I like
That
this.
would be a podium.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a little weird. I think it's gonna go Lando. I think Lando's gonna get a win, and then give me Max and then Leclerc. Although after I'm saying that right now, I feel like if Lando wins, it means a crash happened. So I really should go like Lando, Lewis Hamilton, and then Sainz. I think that should be like the top three if I'm gonna do it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys going on there. James, is there anything you want to plug? Anywhere people can find you?
Nope, just follow along. I watch you guys on the YouTube videos for Team Old, and keep up the good work. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on. Michal, what about you? Anything the people need to see?
I want to plug Lando Norris helmet. If you haven't seen it, just check it out. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's very Top Shot fitting, exactly.
Great. I love that. He's like, I want to plug someone who needs no help being plugged. But awesome, guys. Thanks for coming on. I think Dustin and Greg might be joining, so we're gonna hang for a little bit longer, but I'll get you guys out of here. I know we still have a WNBA run it back moment to give away, but to James and Michal, thanks for coming on, guys, and have a good weekend.
Thanks, Mike.
See you guys. Shout out to both of them. That was a blast. It's been fun getting to meet some new friends doing this, and I've just absolutely been sucked into F1. So whether you guys want this content or not, you're gonna keep getting it. Okay, 10 for you, 1 for me. So let's go back. We have a moment to give away. Let me remind myself what it is. I think Dustin and Greg are going to jump on in a second, or at least I believe Dustin is. What we got here? It's this Ticha Pinchero. We're going to give away a little run it back in honor of the season. Shepard said, Mike, did you see the Top Shot fix the challenge order so the upcoming challenges are not in the middle? No, I didn't, but that means they are watching, baby. That means they are watching, and we love that. We love that. All right, here we go. Let's before we do giveaway time, let's get our friend Dustin on here. What's up, man? Muted, bro. Muted. First time, dude. First time, bro. Come on.
God, I'm out of here. I'm out of the loop. You know what's funny is I had it muted backstage, and then I just didn't realize it. I didn't want to scare you.
It
But
happens.
man,
It happens.
it
Well,
has
yeah,
been
listen.
a
You
week.
did Doctor Strange?
Multiverse of Madness is crushing my life. It has
There you
been a
go.
week.
It's
been a
out
week.
now. Can you just relax?
It is officially out in theaters everywhere. Go watch it. Have a great time.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's out. I don't know that I can relax, but we'll see. We'll see how the weekend goes.
You ready for some hoops tonight?
Oh, I'm ready for all of it. There's a UFC fight this weekend too. There's some breaking news in the UFC world.
What do we
If
got?
we want to touch upon that.
Yeah.
So Charles Oliveira is fighting Justin Gagey this weekend. They just did the weigh-in, and my man Charles is the champ. He missed weight by half a pound.
No way.
So what that means is his title is stripped from him. So he is no longer the champion.
Wow.
And Justin Gaethje is fighting for it. He has an opportunity to win the belt. If Charles wins, he does not get the belt. I believe that is the way it works. He is not eligible to be the champion. It has been stripped from him. So Justin has a chance to win the belt, become the champion. But Charles, even if he wins, does not get to win the belt.
Wow. That's nuts.
Right? Crazy.
Imagine you just like get to work. They're like, too fat. Go home.
Yeah. I don't know. Half a pound. I thought back in the day what you could do was if you miss weight, you had an hour to cut it. And maybe this already happened, but that's what was typically the case, is that if you missed weight, you had an hour to cut it. I would imagine he could have done that half a pound.
Half pound? What do you do?
They put on a suit, a little sweatsuit is what it is, and it's made of plastic. It's those things that you might have seen like boxers run in, and they just sweat the water out. So they basically dehydrate their entire body to get all that water weight off. So they're usually on a bike, like a Peloton bike or whatever stationary bike, and they do a whole thing, and they put like a hoodie on and all of that, and they sweat it out.
Wow.
Oh, they did give him an hour. Yeah.
That's what I do before shows too. I get on a bike
Yeah.
in one of those. Yeah.
That's
just
what I
wait.
should do for these shows. So I look svelte, is I should just try and cut weight before every show. But yeah, wow. That is tough.
Man.
Also, I believe there's a challenge for this weekend. So I don't know how that affects the reward, because if you were thinking you'd get maybe a Charles reward, Oliveira reward,
Ooh.
are you less excited? I mean, I guess if he wins, technically they can still give it to him, but
That's a good
he's no
question.
longer
I
the
was seeing
champ.
if they
I don't
had-
know.
Yeah, I was seeing if they had an announcement about that in there, but they don't. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's also
Wow.
Doug Rose is fighting. It's a good fight. So there's technically two champions fighting, but now Charles has been stripped of the belt. So no, but Rose
Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday night?
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
there we go. I like that the's a challenge going on too. And for those
They've-
participating in it, I feel
Yeah.
like there's always a lot of questions, but that's just snapshot. So as long as you have the
Right.
moments in your account, you're good to go.
Right. It's a little bit different because I think they're working on a less, there's less moments. They're not as established as Top Shot. So
Yeah.
working within what they have, I think is great and a lot of fun. I'm not participating in that. I'm just not chasing if I don't feel the need to it. So I'm not
Yeah.
participating in that. I didn't buy any packs this week.
Wow,
I've
no
just
packs.
been trying to nothing. I've just been so busy, but I want to just buy what I want off the marketplace. There is a shitload of moments for $2, a ton.
On strike?
UFC strike. There is a lot. I'd say at least like 20-ish, 25 $2 moments. So
Wow.
and in that ratio too, just above it, you can get a lot of good fighters that you like Khabib was, I think, down under 20. Hamzat, I think, was right around there. And those were, I think, $50 moments a while ago. 45.
That's what I sold mine
something.
for, 50.
So you can grab a bunch of good fighters. There's no community yet. We don't have it. It's anyone who was an NBA Top Shot fan and also like UFC, like myself, is over there and active, but we haven't bled out to, I think, beyond that sort of squared circle, if you will.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten further than the octagon of what that is. Like, and we need to bleed out to get more fight fans involved.
Yeah. And I mean, I do think, not to be cliche, but I do think like the whole, not hashtag we're early like NFTs early, but I mean, it truly like it hasn't been around.
This is,
that long. So,
This it's definitely early. They've tried a little bit here and there, but I don't know that they've sustained it with the fighters. The other thing I would say is that I kind of wish we would have been a little bit more ahead than we are, only because this was announced back in February of 2020 that this was happening, that they were going to be on Dapper. So I would have hoped that some of those things, look, there's legal hurdles behind everything. And I imagine that's what usually trips it up. Just someone coming from like the corporate side, legal is a nightmare. So it's probably that has been a lot of the trip ups, but what they're doing with this small community has been nice. So if you're buying UFC moments or UFC strike moments, I should say, to do like, oh, I think these are going to moon. We're not anywhere close to that. So you should be buying what you love. You should be buying moments that you think are ones that you're excited to have in your collection. I would not be approaching it from any sort of financial earliness gains and also not financial advice, but that's just the approach I've been doing. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. It does seem though, like the people that like yourself, and I know Jeb, if you are like a super diehard UFC fan, this is great. Like it is fun to have something to engage with.
It's fun. I mean, it's in the same way that Greg has left NBA Top Shot and for dead and just moved into the candy house. He is our baseball guy. So he is loving every moment. And not that I love UFC more than I do NBA. NBA is still my number one love, far and above. But I have been a big MMA fan. There's also another fighter on the card, I should say, Shogun Rua, who's like a legend from back in the day. I didn't even know he was still fighting. Way past his prime, but still like a fun watch if you're an old school MMA, UFC, Pride FC fan. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it's a real lot happening. So we got that going on. WNBA tips tonight.
Yep.
We got a bunch of hoops this weekend.
We should address this comment right here because this is.
I was just not going to talk about it. I just didn't think you needed. I didn't think you needed any help.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, look, I bought this when he first joined. Pretty good shirt, right? Was great for the 2020 season, 2019-2020 season. Since then,
honestly, it's just like on brand for LeBron stuff, like.
Well, this isn't officially made. This isn't
no,
like
I know, but like, It would be. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
you
that's
told me it
fair.
was officially LeBron, I would
He
be
would
like, yeah.
he would quote tweet and be like, "Whoa, that's such a cool shirt!" Like he would do some version of
Wash
that.
King.
Yeah, some lean into something about that.
Yeah. I
Anyways.
also a reminder. So if you, I know it's like Snoopaloop just put it in. If you've already put WNBA into the chat, you don't have to do it again. But we're giving away a run it back moment a little bit. Just gonna like the stream, subscribe, put WNBA in the chat. No hashtag, just WNBA. Do we think we get a Greg sighting today?
I think it's very TBD.
Very TBD.
Very TBD. Yeah.
I don't know what else is going on, man.
I was talking to Merce earlier today. He was telling me that he completed his first challenge without having to pay for any moments, and he was very proud of that. Yeah.
There we go.
It was the one that was just expired, I think, about at 2 hours ago. He completed it and didn't have to buy anything. He was very proud of that.
Dude,
so he's been dipping in here and there, getting some stuff. He got a pack. He was very excited about that. The Hustle and Show airdrop.
There you
so
go.
yeah.
Did you change your profile photo yesterday at all, or?
What do you mean?
I didn't know if you put the Top Shot scores. I didn't know if you.
Oh, the TSS? Not yet. Not yet. I'm waiting for the customized version of it. What is that? What does all that mean? I didn't fully track. You want to get into that?
No, I talked about it a little bit this morning, but my favorite thing about the whole thing is so they've been, and I'll do it again. Let me pull it up.
Please.
I'll do it again. But my favorite thing is that we've gotten a lot of emails from them or like messages from them lately. That's like, hey, like our bad guys.
Yep.
Our bad. We didn't mean to do that. Clearly this was a mistake, right? Like they didn't mean to let us know what it was, right? They didn't mean to put it live and then shut it back down. And
you never want to do that. You never want to do that, especially
No.
with a fan base that is active and will let you know about it.
And their messaging was like, so guess some people notice collector score is about to get an upgrade.
That is a great read. That is the
Right?
perfect read. Yeah.
Because that's what it said. Like that's, and it was like Top Shot score is coming mid-month. The score seen today will have no bearing on your actual Top Shot score. Good luck with your pack rips. And also to throw circle back into a tweet like that.
Wait, does it say that in there? Sorry.
Yeah. And then it says Top Shot, good luck with your pack rips and circle back shortly when we officially like
Cringe.
Oh, it's so bad. And
why
then,
did we reply with that with our thread about
I know. Because I think they're mad at me right now, so I'm trying to pump the brakes a little bit.
I mean, it's yeah.
But like what I loved about that, I loved the so some people are saying it's on purpose. But I don't think that's not a fun rollout, right? Because here's why.
No.
I think 1% of the Top Shot population saw their collector score go up. Everyone else's went way down, right? If this was a scenario where they were going to turn it on for a second and my collector score went from 20,000 to 50,000 or yours went from 2,000 to 5,000, whatever it is, then it's like a fun leak. But this goes the other way. Even if it's not accurate, it goes the other way. So the perception of what just happened is you're about to get rugged. So if they did do it on purpose,
here's my argument that it's not on purpose. There has been a ton of conversation about collector score. People are really worried about it. For them to do something on purpose that would cause confusion, potential chaos, is the worst possible move that they could do. So I gotta think that is not on purpose. But that tweet feels like, whoops, kind of messed up. But don't worry, there's something coming. But again, it's just, what are we doing?
And what are we doing? And I'm not mad at whatever the collector score is going to be. Like, it clearly needs to be addressed. I weirdly have faith that I think it's going to be a good adjustment. I think it'll make more sense both for like us right now, but also for long term. It's just, again, worse than allowing run it backs to be bought. Jason, I get you, man. I get you. But I think it's just one of those things where I want to know, so clearly this happened in my mind. This happened accidentally.
Yes.
So then was there a bunch of slacks that went around that were like, hey, what if we just like change our PFP? like, and then it builds hype around it instead. Like, was that how
Probably.
that went down?
The way what should have happened is that there should be a shared Google Doc to say we are announcing on this time. This is the rollout. This is where it's going. What time? Who you do a meeting to say who's setting it up, who's posting it about here. You're in charge of it there. Then you communicate it there. Is someone jumping on it? There's a rollout doc that is created, and you work through that, and you assign roles, and there's a time, and then that information is sent to the powers that be to say this is our plan to roll it out. Do you want to bless it? And then you go from there. And then it is aligned and it is communicated across everyone that this is coming. Nothing is to be put out before this. This is confidential. Right. There is a structure that's put in place. There is communication that is put in place so that you can have everything airtight and you have something go out simultaneously, organized. It's been blessed by leadership. That's what you do.
And like, again, if it was one of those things, if it happened once, it wouldn't be a problem, right? But the issue is that this is the thing that continues to happen, and that's why we harp on stuff.
We're fine. Look, everyone makes mistakes. There's been a ton of different little things that have happened over the course of my career that we wish we could, take back or have a do-over. But we've learned from those mistakes, and I think we've minimized those to like a good amount. You never know what the future holds, but it just feels like this is a little too consistent, that there's maybe not someone in place that is wrangling everything and then locking it up.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it goes back to all the same shit we've been saying for a long time. Like, and I don't know, what's it been? When was the Spaces? The Spaces was, I don't know. It's like second week of March, maybe. Who's in charge? It's like, who's in charge?
And Ryan, maybe I am what Web 2, but I have something soon that maybe you'll disagree. Maybe you'll disagree with.
Do you?
I don't know. We'll see.
Wait, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh wait, do I know what you're talking about? Have we talked about it?
Maybe a little bit, but we'll share more later. How about that?
All right. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that breadcrumbs. All right, Jacob.
Breadcrumbs. Yeah. All right. What else is going on? How are you feeling after a million shows? I tuned in a little bit for Shot Tank.
Yeah, I was really tired by the end of Shot Tank. I felt bad. I was out of gas. Shot Tank was fun. It's always good seeing those guys. Alpha is Web 3. Ryan, what are you just saying? Dustin leaked Alpha. Alpha is Web 3. So wait, are you back to Dustin being Web 3 now?
Okay. Yeah. What does that mean?
All right. So I thought it was fun. It was good to talk to Steve and Brandon. I enjoyed doing the trivia yesterday with Pete, doing the drop. I hope we do.
I had fun with that. I did terrible in it. Just going to tell you, really bad. And I like went all in every time as much as I could bet.
No, I think that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I just like that they are, and again, this is me pumping my own potential bags. Obviously, I want to do this more.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of there's other stuff going on while you're in the queue. And that I think long term, if there's times where you can like get in the queue and then get back into the queue, or what if they did something like that on the Top Shot page when it's not a queue, right? You just like log in and then there's a video thing happening.
My question was, I thought it was great. I'm curious. I'm sure they have the numbers. How many people joined the queue via desktop versus mobile? Because it was clearly built for a mobile view. And if this is, I think it's called dog fooding at Google. I can't remember, whatever it is. So you're testing it, beta testing for an app to be used in an app. Like, I'm curious. I'm very curious the decision to make it built in a 9:16 mobile first view versus, I mean, everything felt like it was built to be used on a phone when I was seeing. So I'm just, is there a version that was tested for desktop? I would wonder how many people are lining up for the queue, participating. I got to think that it would be more than 50% were on desktop. Probably significantly more than that, right? I only join mobile if I have to.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Right. I will say too, Borland, I'm with you, right? Like, I think after one round, even if I don't even know if it's that they check out. I think once it's time to go get your pack, you're pretty much done, right? We've been tossing this idea around. I think I'm allowed to like share the idea, but of doing this during like when it's not a pack drop,
right?
Like doing something when what if you did like these prop bet type trivia during the first half of tonight's game or something like that? And I think for the
And you
opportunity
can
for
win a pack or you win a moment.
dapper,
It's
whatever,
great.
you know?
Yep.
So I'm hoping for something like that. Again, and this is the same thing I was talking about with Kevin earlier today when we were talking about the WNBA. I think what's exciting about the WNBA right now is they're now creating reasons to engage with the platform on a daily basis with these flash
Right.
challenges, with the types of drops they're doing.
And this was the better version of what you saw on Twitter that they were doing, where they were tweeting things out and you could quote tweet it to win something.
Right. This is like
to
real
me,
time.
this is the better version of that. So you can be engaging. I would imagine if you're engaging on an app while you're watching the game to win some dapper credit, to win a pack.
Yeah.
I think people will want to be part of it. It's fandom. You're watching the games. What's happening? Answer some questions about it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a little HQ.
Right.
Borland's saying do it as a pregame. Don't take it away from in-game viewership. I get that. But I do think most people are two-screen people now.
Right. Well, NBA Twitter is just proving that they are. They're looking on Twitter and checking tweets simultaneously. So maybe there's a collection of like tweets or comments that are being pulled in while that's happening and you're watching the game because you're also talking to the Top Shot community about stuff at the same time, so it's building its own little version of that during the whatever the app is or what have you.
I would need to get a TV in here though if that happened, like if because I would need to watch the game. I think
just sell a couple DeJounte Murray TSDs and you're back.
Dude,
in
that
the
ship has sailed, man. That ship has sailed. Yeah, tough scene. Yeah, it's funny. I've stopped looking at the market for the most part, just because
bags are packed at this point.
Yeah.
Bags are packed. Participate in what we can. Bags are packed. Our whole goal was I think I still feel very smart. Lock up TSDs, get Series 1, get some stuff that are meaningful moments, and then let's see where things are when some of this doesn't exist anymore. Let's see when LeBron is retired and what do his S1 moments look like. Right, with the champ badge and all this stuff. Let's see what it looks like.
I mean, that's how I feel. That is how I feel. Do you have any? Actually, hold on. Dustin, can you cook by yourself for like 2 seconds, and then let's just talk about the upcoming games we got. Talk some hoops for a little bit. You down for that?
Yeah. Could you want me to pull it up, or you're gonna dip off? Yeah.
I gotta dip off for like 2 seconds. Are you good?
Let's go. All right. We're not going to talk basketball at all. Let's talk entertainment, right? I want to get your thoughts on this. So I was looking at a video. It's a TikTok, right? It is a kid and he was saying like oldies, talking about oldies you should know. You guys may have seen this TikTok, right? And it was the Nirvana song that is in the Batman. So I had a thought on this. Someone did a stitch and they commented that people our age, you need to just get over the fact, yes, these are oldies, because when you were younger, the songs that your parents were listening to you considered them oldies at the time. So here's my take, and I'm going to disagree on what that person said. If the song sounds like it could have been released today, I don't think you consider it an oldie. So if it is, so that Nirvana song 100% sounds like it could be released today. I don't think you can consider that an oldie. When we're looking at songs like Twist and Shout and things like that, those sound like oldies. There's a very specific sound to an oldie that you can't just transport into a decade and it still sounds like a current song. So I think anything to be considered an oldie needs to sound like that. I'm talking entertainment instead.
Yeah. I had AirPods in. I listened the whole time. That was incredible.
So that is my take. Nirvana and the old folks home. No, look, if the sound from a song sounds like it can be released today, I don't think, no matter how, like a Wu-Tang song or something like that, right? It maybe sounds, some of that does sound like older, but there are songs that still sound similar to what the sound is today. And if it can have a similar sound and be released today, those in my opinion should not be called oldies. I think when we were younger and we heard oldies, it was like Elvis Presley or stuff like that, right? That couldn't have been released at the same time that Nirvana was out because those sounds were drastically different. No one was putting out music like Elvis. That's what I'm saying. But now you hear like songs that come out, songs like what you would hear from Nirvana or things like that sound like they could be or Soundgarden or whatever could be released today. So they should not be considered oldies. That is my take. Where are you at on that?
Wow. No, I like that take. I'm having a tough time coming up with a lot of examples. So I think most things are oldies.
You're saying songs that you're thinking of should be oldies.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of songs that I consider oldies and then have that and then be like, wait, maybe it's not. But everyone that I think of, I'm like, no, that is.
No,
I
this
don't
is a
know.
good question, Fenny. This Just a Friend might be an oldie. It's
No, that
so
I think that is an oldie. That could be made today.
It's so different in the way that it is. It's just so different.
Wow.
Absolutely, boomer take. This is more that we're not as old, because a lot of the stuff that is still, like, I think relevant when we grew up is still relevant today and is still being tried to be emulated. So the song that it stems from what was in the Batman that blew up and everyone was like, oh my God, that song sounds like it could have just been a new track released today. That's how good it was to withstand the test of time, that it didn't feel like an oldie. It felt like it felt like a current song.
I do get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think that's a small percentage of songs. I don't think there are a lot of songs where that's the case, I guess is my point.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not saying all of them. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
There's some that have not stood the test of time or feel old when you hear it, right? Like Bust a Move and random 90s, like Hammer, You Can't Touch This. Like all of those feel old. This one is an interesting one.
I think this is classic.
It's a classic song, but could it sound like it's released today by an artist? I don't think it does.
No.
Do you get what I'm saying? There's some songs.
What was the initial song was from the most recent Batman?
Yes, in the Batman. Okay. So it's Something in the Air, I believe is what it's called, by Nirvana. Okay. And that song is like #1 on Spotify now, and it's done really well in the movie. But I think there was a whole thing, there was argument that was like, just face it, these are oldies. And I'm like, I don't know if that is an oldie. I don't think that one, like some of those songs are oldies. Oldies, I think, should have a sound that doesn't feel like it can still be contemporary.
It also might be a justification for us. Do you know what I mean? Like we're
100%. It's 100%. I'm not denying that fact, but I'm also saying that that's what it's Something in the Way. Okay. I think there's something to be said about those, to say they are not, like, that song sounds like it can 100% be released today.
No, I'm with you. Did you watch Batman? The Batman?
Yeah,
do I have to say
I did.
Yeah. I liked it.
I thought it was great.
I just watched it.
Iris left with the kids, went to her parents' house, took the kids. I had like a full 5 hours to myself, so I cranked up the volume and watched the whole thing.
I loved it. I will say we started it at 11 o'clock
at night,
Saturday. Yeah.
Terrible idea.
And you know what? Kelsey was like, so I'm like 6 years older than Kelsey. And, she was like, yeah, we don't have anything going on tomorrow. We can sleep in. And I was like, you are a young person still and can sleep in. Like I'm going to be up. Like no matter what time this ends.
Also, you probably get tired as the night goes on. She's still ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, no, let's actually, now I want to go down this road. Are you watching anything right now? Like, I just want to talk about content. Is there anything you're watching?
Yeah, I was thinking this could be fun. Just let's go entertainment. You've talked Top Shot enough. We don't need to do any of that stuff. I did want to bring up the UFC strike stuff, which we covered.
Yeah.
Am I watching anything? I'm going to start Outer Range on Amazon Prime.
Weird as hell. I'm watching it. It's weird as hell.
I'm only a few episodes in on Severance. I'm finding it very hard to keep up with.
Okay, where are you? I know this is
like
the
I'm
most
episode
thing ever, but
I know. I think I'm episode 3, but it is getting more difficult to try and stay in with it, because it's weird. I'm into the concept, but it's very, very slow. And by the time I start it, I'm already exhausted, so it's lights out.
Yeah, it's about to cook. It is really like the second half of Severance. It's like they had to create the world, and like so you understood, and then it like. Right. Zach Cherry turns into the best, man. I'm like so. Whoa! I almost like knocked my camera over. I'm so pumped for that dude. I love Zach, and it's cool seeing him get his due.
I'll
Yes,
I'll try to get to it. I really will, because I do want to, and I know Greg is excited to talk to anyone about that at all times.
Yeah.
He might open up a Severance channel in our Discord because he
Yeah.
really wants to talk about it.
He texted me about a Severance sketch idea that he wanted to do.
Oh, geez. Okay, great. Of course. What else? Am I watching
Better Call
anything
Saul?
else? No. I was a huge Breaking Bad person. I watched the first 2 seasons of Better Call Saul, and then I just started to fade out. I was like, I can't keep up with this. It felt a little long, and then I don't know. I just couldn't.
I mean,
couldn't
honestly,
get there.
it's got the same slow build that Breaking Bad did too. Just like it takes truly takes 3 years, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is fire.
Well, I Breaking Bad, I felt great about. Speaking of which, we should probably say, I think something similar to that is Ozark. I'm still starting it. I'm still starting, not the series, the final episode. So I'm not caught up at all on that. So
I feel like before we continue, I have to give a little bit of like context and how I consume TV, because it's going to seem like I watch everything. So there's two things that happen. I don't have children.
Right.
So that's one reason I get to watch a lot of this.
Yep.
The second thing is, and this is going to make me seem like a crazy person, but I get up like an hour earlier than I normally would.
Okay.
And that is how I keep up with the TV shows that I like. So I usually don't watch things live, but I'll watch it the next morning with my coffee. That's like how I start my day.
Wow.
So before, because I can feel this happening right now, like that I am up to date with Better Call Saul. I'm up to date with Outer Range. Severance I watched. John Hickey talked about Tokyo Vice. I love Tokyo Vice, but there's a part of me that it's a little problematic because
my parents love Bosch. There's a spinoff. I need to tell them. They say it's the best show ever. Here's what I would say to answer your question. I was watching Moon Knight, so I finished that. To answer your question, or to address your statement, enjoy it while you can. It all goes away.
I got like
it all goes away. There was a podcast I used to listen to. It's called Get Up On This. It was with Jensen Karp and Matthew Robinson. And it was very good. They thought that it was like, we're going to put you up on stuff before it blows up. Like they had Jack Harlow, right? That's the name. I'm blanking on it.
Yeah. Yep.
They had him on their podcast like 5 years ago saying, this dude is legit. And Jensen is like a huge rap nerd. So he calls a lot of his shots. He had him on there saying this dude's going to blow up. He's done it for a bunch of other shows, things. They called out the show Black Mirror on Netflix before it was a thing.
Wow.
Like they have a lot of home. Anyways, point being, they had this podcast. I'm like, man, how are they able to? It's because they didn't have kids. The second both of them had kids, they ended the show. They stopped the show. They stopped it. And Merce was even a guest on it one time because Jensen's also a huge Clippers fan. And so he went on there. They talked about it. Merce gave me a shout out on there because he knows I listen. And he was like, that you put him up on stuff. He's got kids. He can't keep up. So appreciate it, blah, 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 which is very nice. But the podcast was great to help me keep up on that. They had kids. They stopped the show. They stopped doing it.
That's
100%.
So funny.
And there was a guest on they bring a guest on to talk about what you want. Do you want to give someone a get up on? Do you want to do it? And he had one. And then they said, was there something you want to give advice, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, the one thing, because he was a new parent. He said, the one thing that I would say to anyone that's becoming a parent is that you will not get to go to the movies anymore. It's just done. You're just done. It is done. You can get a sitter, but it becomes a little bit of a challenge and this, and it just becomes a lot of work to just go to a movie. So in terms of consuming content and doing that, it becomes a massive challenge when you have kids. With one in the early stages, not a big deal. They sit on your lap. They don't know what's going on. You watch whatever you want. R-rated content, whatever. They don't know what's happening. They get a little bit older. It's more difficult. You have multiple. It's even more challenging. So enjoy it while you can, because it will be.
I'm taking stuff in. I listen to my version of that is oh my God, Michael, I don't know if you are referring back to my joke from like 3 months ago, but thank you if you are, because
God, I hope so.
When Jack Harlow, I think I forget what the actual joke was, but I tweeted that out I think it was during the NBA All-Star game. But I listened to The Watch. Do you ever listen to The Watch podcast? It's it's from The Ringer. It's Chris Ryan and Andy Greenwald.
Yeah, I have in the past. Yeah.
They always put me on like the good stuff. And then people are in the chat, we're talking about it, but We Own This City, which is like the new David Simon project with basically like the Wire guys came back together to do more modern day Wire. And I'm watching that right now. John Barenthal's in it, and he's awesome. That dude is like really good. And it's funny. You don't think he's a character actor because of like who he is, but that dude's a character actor.
100%. You plug him in for what you need.
Yeah.
And he's amazing.
He's so good. He was awesome.
Shea Serrano tweeted, if this guy's in the movie, I know it's going to be good.
Yeah, truly. He's
Right.
so good. He's so good. But yeah, it is embarrassing all of the stuff that I'm still up to speed on. I really do watch. I watched Slow House. I think it was called Slow House. It was a new Gary Oldman show on Apple TV. That was excellent. Apple TV. I don't know if you're even allowed to talk about this. Now that we're like talking about competitors, Apple TV crushes. Like they're really good. I did watch the Moon Knight. However, I found myself walking around the house just being like, I need to go brush my teeth now. Chim the
Well, how many episodes are you in is what I would say to that.
3. I stopped at 3. So I want to keep watching it, but it did start to fall off.
I do love the sort of Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins.
It really is.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
It's a specific accent. I forgot which area of the UK it is, but there's a very specific. Also, Bagged Wine for All Mankind is fantastic.
Apple TV doesn't do a ton of stuff, but their stuff is good. Like,
yeah, you know what I think they're doing? I think they're taking the HBO approach to just insane quality. Well, like you can't yes, making great stuff helps, but I think they are saying we're gonna spend. We are gonna spend and make it look insanely good quality, and that will help separate us from what other offerings exist, because everything looks like it's really expensive.
I watched that show with Captain America in it. It was like the first thing he did after the Avengers was over.
On Apple TV, right?
Yeah, it was like Jacobs something.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
It was fucking weird, but he got to play a guy from Boston, and I was like, you know what?
Really? Oh, okay.
And I think he is from Boston, so I was like,
Chris Evans is. Yeah. Look, I'm the same way. Anything that takes place in LA, I'm all about. Like, yes, 100%. Ambulance, I still need to see just because it's full on LA. I love anything LA. My brother actually saw the movie and loved it. He says it's really good.
Everybody I've talked to who's seen it has liked it, but I know it did terribly. But
I think it didn't perform well. But yes, to your point, everyone I've talked to said, "Oh, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it." So I'm really excited to see it. I know it's like on demand and things like that. So I'll be watching it real soon. Anything LA. I'm watching.
We've been doing this for like 20 minutes now. We haven't talked. Have you been watching Winning Time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we gotta talk about this.
I haven't watched the last episode, so I haven't caught up there. But I am everything else I'm caught up. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great.
So good.
I love it. I know that there's some issues with like how
it's all true. All of it is accurate.
I don't care though.
No, like I would say, look, Magic. His portrayal feels 1000% accurate, just growing up in LA and seeing how his personality was on everything that he did. But Dr. Bus too. I know the Jerry West stuff and Kareem. Everyone I've talked to that has had interactions with Kareem in real life has said accurate.
Dude,
exactly like that.
And do you know his backstory?
Who? What do you mean?
The actor?
It's Solomon Hughes, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't know his backstory.
Now I'm nervous because you knew his name right away. That maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is his first thing.
I'm sure it is because he was just a basketball player.
Yeah, and he was I think he's a professor right now or a teacher. And I mean,
he's amazing. He's doing so good.
He's so good. He's so good in it. Wood. What's Wood's last name? The dude who plays Spencer Haywood.
Oh yeah, I know he's in a ton of movies.
Dude, I know you haven't seen the most recent episode. He has like one of the best performances I've ever seen. Also, speaking of character actors, is Adrian Brody a character actor?
I don't think he's a character actor, but I think he is a selective actor. I think he's choosing his roles, and he's great as Pat Riley. He's
you know what's so funny? I liked him way more after he shaved his mustache.
Right. Yeah. Well, he just sort of fell into place a little bit once he got there. Yeah.
But the like, I don't care what anybody has to say about the accuracies. The acting in this is like so freaking good that I don't care. Like,
and the production style, the choices that were made and how it was shot, the looking at the camera, the sort of on-screen stuff, like everything was a very specific choice to say, this is how this show is going to be. It's not just going to be a show about it. It's going to be a show that sort of involves the audiences. There's winks. It's just got life that you need to have included in a story, a show about the Los Angeles Lakers becoming Showtime. It has to have some bravado. It has to have a little bit of cockiness. It has to have all this fun.
Right.
It just can't be drama, this sadness, or what have you. It has to have a little wink and nod, and they're doing a great job of it. I mean, the episode called "Fuck Boston" is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. Also, do you think if we could give Jerry West some like truth serum, do you think if he waited till like episode 5 or 6, he wouldn't have sued him? Like, do you think he sued too soon? Because like the last couple episodes, he's like a really good dude.
It's a good question. Yeah, no, I don't know, because I think overall the sentiment is still that he's kind of a dick. But I think he's just anyone coming after their character or how they're represented, someone's going to get pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, it was just that cracked me up so much. I know it wasn't like technically a lawsuit, but that whole
he had some PR reps get some stuff out there to say, hey, that's not me. Right.
Hey, I'm actually not a dick, guys.
Right.
I love it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It took me, I will say, like the first episode, I was a little thrown and I was like, oh, is it going to be all like wink all the time? But it was just a lot of context. Also, John C. Reilly, man, so good. John C. Reilly,
right.
So good.
We keep forgetting and how good he's being in that role because of everything else, but he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
And you think you get excited when he's on screen too, because you think you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun when his character's on screen.
That's a great breakdown of that, because that is true. Every time you see him, you're like pumped.
Yeah, whatever he's involved with is going to be fun, but it's because of what he's giving to you in that character. You want to be a part of the ride that he's bringing you on every time it's a scene with him.
And I think people will take that as he's like a comedic actor, which he is. But I hope people realize like how good he is.
No, he's just a great actor.
He's
really just a great,
And yeah, that is.
Watch so Boogie Nights. My man can cook.
Boogie Nights. God. Yeah, I love John C. Reilly. I really do. I was just going to say one more thing about it. Oh, this shouldn't be the takeaway from Winning Time, but holy shit. Magic Johnson had so much sex.
1,000%.
I mean, yes. and it's like 20 times more than what we're seeing right now.
Right. Look, he was confidence.
That's
confidence. Crazy. It's confidence. He knew he can hoop. It led to everything else. And that's all it was. Smile and confidence. And my man could get whatever he wanted. He most certainly did. Yeah.
So like I was just trying to do the math of like this might have been the most recent episode. It's not a spoiler or anything, but they just like, you're in his bedroom and there's like 3 women and they're all waking up together. I'm like, I just like geometrically, like this is
right.
How?
Was it like every single night? Was this multiple times a week? Right.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, that too. But I'm just saying at one night, like you get there, you get to the bed and there's like 3 people sleeping there or 4 people sleeping there because Magic and 3 other people. And I'm like, ooh, I'd be so stressed out. I'd be so stressed out.
That's why confidence is key, Mike. And it also helps that you're 6'9".
That's true too. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. He's a whole foot taller than you, and maybe then some.
There's more of them. There's more.
Yeah, there's more of them to go around.
Let's give away. Someone's saying the Flash Challenge packs are in. Is that? I haven't seen mine arrive yet, but I know they take. Oh no, there it is. I got one. Right. I'll rip one, but let's give away. Let's give away this moment. So we are giving away. What is it right here? It's this WNBA. I bought this today just to give away for the 74 people watching today. Okay.
Very nice.
If you haven't done it yet, you got to put WNBA into the chat. You need to like the stream and subscribe. This is Doc Delta who won the Kelsey Michal giveaway. And there we go. So we're going to do this right now.
Okay.
We're going to rip it. You know what? You've had plenty of time to do it. So if you haven't done it yet, we're up to 82 entrants. If you win this thing, you got to shoot me a DM either on Twitter or in the Discord.
Are we ripping all of our packs?
We can rip some. You want to rip a pack?
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
Ooh, look at Jordan. Look at Jordan. Based on this photo, my man's not watching TV.
No, he could watch sports. But Jordan, are those twins? What's happening here? I don't know. The one on the right looks a little bit bigger than the one on the left, but it could be just the photo. But either way, you got your hands full, and I respect.
I'm gonna guess 18 months and 2 months. No, I'm not gonna
no, not even close. Not even close. 18 months, the child is walking. You're not holding him on your lap.
There it is. There's Jordan. He says he is. He is watching TV still. Go get him.
Yeah.
Go get
Look,
him.
they can't understand anything. They're too young.
Hey, Martin, just refresh, bro. We got 90 likes. Yeah, dude, why don't rip a pack? What do you got for us?
Some playoff packs, right?
There we go. I ripped 10 yesterday. Did you see this? I got a
You got a
Scotty
TSD,
Barnes.
right? Something?
Yeah, Scotty Barnes.
I tuned in right at that time. Yeah.
Ooh, 2 years old and 1 year old, third coming in August. And then he says, I'm drowning, says Jordan.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely.
Jordan, put your Top Shot handle in the chat right now. I'm going to send this to you now so I can get it to you.
So 2 years old and 1 year old, it's probably similar to how mine are. So Devin and Miles are like 20 months apart or something like that.
Wow.
So they're less than 2 years apart. Yeah, it's crazy. The fact that you're having a third one ASAP,
Yikes.
I don't know, man. They'll be done all at the same time, but you are going to be in it. In it.
Eisenberg says, geez, Jordan, talking about Magic Johnson. All right, here we go. So you get 2 playoff moments, 2 commons. What do you got?
Same sound. We're still rocking the same sound.
Still rocking the same song.
Okay. When Merce song.
Jordan said that wasn't on purpose, I'll admit.
Okay. Yeah, the third one never is.
Yeah,
Just
when Merce.
Yeah. What do we got?
Celtics. Marcus.
All right. So this is one of my playoff moments, right?
Yep. So
All
you know
right.
what's so funny? I was saying this last night. That thumbnail's incredible, but the layup is actually pretty ugly. Because you know how, like, when they hold the left hand when they do something like that?
Right.
It's usually this like pretty layup. And this is actually pretty ugly.
Well, it's offhand. Well, he's
Yeah.
using his offhand. It's a bit of a buzzer beater, I guess. But yeah, it's not great. And then he's
I
just
love. I mean, I
staring at-
still
this is the
love. I'm
hand.
glad they made this the moment. But it's just
Yeah, and it makes sense that it is the moment. All right, I'm just going wherever I got to go.
Jordan,
Whiteside.
put your Top Shot handle in there.
Who we got? Claxton.
Claxton. All right, so there's your playoff moment. Brooklyn Nets.
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
What are we doing with all these moments? What's the plan?
I'm just holding them all. I'm gonna try to complete the set. So I ended up getting a bunch of airdrops because I have the set
Right.
and completed all the challenges. So I'm just gonna try to do it.
Okay. Are they worth anything if I try to just flip them?
Somewhere between 7 and 12, I think.
Duncan Robinson. Just what I wanted.
There we go. That's the only playoff game he's played too.
This is the reason why I didn't buy packs. I didn't
Yeah.
want Duncan Robinson moments.
I'm the other way though. I've enjoyed these packs.
I enjoy him getting airdropped and completing him as challenge. I
Yeah.
just wasn't going to pay because I figured my luck would be, here's your Duncan Robinson and Marcus Smart. This is a nice moment.
That's true.
232, baby. That's worth like what, $3 now?
Max Reese.
Okay. Jay Crowder, clam chowder. Nope.
We haven't seen Jay Crowder Clam Chowder in a while.
Oh, I'll
Anthony
take this.
Edwards. There you go.
I'll
I think
take
that's
it.
the most expensive playoff moment, going for like
Ant-Man.
$14 last I checked.
Little step back. Boom.
Jordan, put your Top Shot username into the chat, man. I'm going to give it to you right now.
All right, last pack.
Here we go. So these are all from challenges?
Yes. I'm going reveal all for old time's sake.
Oh, wow. All right, let's do it.
There it is.
Let's do it. Oh, Grant Williams, Michal Bridges.
Yep.
I mean, you got the best one. You got Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Did you do any of the challenges for the
What's
The
Grant
challenge-
Williams' wingspan?
well, I don't know, but he's covering Giannis and he's shutting him down. So
Well, he's got the muscle to body up with him, but his wingspan feels like it's got some Julius Randle vibes.
wow. I can't tell if that's like a compliment. To,
No, Julius Randle has a very short wingspan. It's like
yeah.
barely his body length. This is a cool moment. I hadn't seen this one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, Jordan, I'm sending it to you right now.
All right. Well, there we go.
So we just got a Top Shot announcement. What's that? Oh, that cute. Don't worry.
That was fun.
That was good. That was good. Again, when they're free,
Yeah,
they're
hey.
fun. I'll rip mine as well too.
Look, no disrespect to Duncan Robinson. I would 100% take him on the Los Angeles Lakers, but it was just, I'm not a Heat fan, so I'm not chasing that.
No, that's fair. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Let's do some more debuts.
Yeah, let's get you
I
some
gotta tell you-
badges.
Dustin, I finally figured out my adapter thing for my phone, for my camera, and I'm no
Okay.
longer on a battery. And I got to tell you, this feels great. right now.
Well,
I'd be
what was?
sweating it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what? How was that never an option?
No, you know what? It was an option. It was user error. The thing was, so because of the cable, I
Yep.
couldn't close the battery door. And
Okay.
even though the battery was locked in, it wouldn't turn on unless the battery door was closed. There's like a fake wall almost on the side of my camera that you could push out where the cable goes. And I did not know that existed. I couldn't.
Oh,
find that.
to do exactly that.
Yeah.
To override that. Got
Yeah,
it.
but it was like so well done that you couldn't notice it unless you
Got
like
it.
took a pen to it or something. But
Oh, what a pain! So you've been doing that this whole time, having to worry about the battery on every show. That would drive me nuts.
yeah, I bought a second battery so that I had like another one ready to go. Now it's just because
Oh,
I'm an
man.
idiot. Just because I'm an idiot.
Rough.
All right, here we go. Ooh, is this Tyrese Maxey? I don't know if I
That's
had a
nice.
Maxey. I'll take this one.
Where are your takes on James Harden? I know you touched on it a bit.
Oh my god.
He's cooked. He's cooked, right?
Yeah, he's cooked, man. I'm fascinated with what they are going to do in the offseason because I'm sure they had a wink deal like we're going to extend you. I don't know how you give him a max deal. I don't know how you do it.
He's lost a step. He's out of shape. If
Yeah.
he wants to extend his career, he's got to drop some lbs. Period. He's got to get in better shape. I
Yeah.
think
He needs to go the Chris Paul way. Eat
They
some
all-
plants.
Yep. They also, the NBA has sort of fought against his style of play.
Mhm.
So what do you do when refs are actively looking at, enforcing rules against the way you play the game and you're out of
Yeah.
shape? That's a double L. No thanks. I don't want any part of it. I've never been a Harden fan, so I'm so happy to see all of this happening. But
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, the thing is Morey loves him so much. I'm sure they had a wink deal. Maybe they can work out something where it's like 2 years, a lot of money, and then it's like team options or something like that the rest of the way. But
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I
2
think
plus
you
1, some sort of deal team option on
Right.
the third.
because you sink your upside. You sink.
You
your
don't want
upside.
him longer than 2 seasons upcoming.
No.
That's the most I'd go down the road with him.
Yeah.
Because then you can,
Yeah.
if you want, you can team option, sign and trade for the third year if you absolutely need to, or something like that. But I don't want him after 2 more seasons.
No. I almost feel bad because I don't really like him, but they've been unwatchable. And who knows if Embiid's back? Like if Embiid
I
comes
thought I
back
saw.
tonight.
I
Well,
thought I
they
saw
said he was trying to, like he
Right.
got his mask fitting and stuff, but
if they're down
he's
3-0.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. So you taking the Heat tonight?
If there's no Joel Embiid, yeah.
Yeah.
They're ready to go. The Heat are at full strength, right? Like what?
I think they still don't have Lowry, right? I think Lowry's missing one
Okay.
more, but they've been fine without him. And then what about
Right.
the Suns Mavs? What do you got tonight?
I'd love the Mavs to get one.
I feel like if they're going to get one, it's this one, right? Like they still lose in
so.
5, but I could see him getting this one.
God, I don't want them to lose in 5. I want them to push the Suns as far as they can, but I guess they're just not. Maybe I believed in the Mavs a little bit more, and it's probably a combination. I believed in the Mavs too much, and I just dislike the Suns so much that I don't think of them as highly as I should. But they are a well-built machine right now, the Suns.
I think, right, we saw them go to 6 games with the Pelicans, and then we were like, we forgot they won 65 games.
Right.
And then we're like, oh,
they have all the pieces. They have,
Yeah.
if you want to go small ball, if you want to go big, if you need athleticism, if you need 3-point shooting, like I feel like they just have
They got it all.
everything to no matter who you throw at them. It will just depend if it's like, can they do it against the Warriors when that team's at full strength?
Grizzlies.
I don't know.
I'm taking the Grizz, baby. I took them. I took Grizz in 7 at the beginning of the series.
That would be a huge coup for Memphis fans. I don't know. I still think Golden State gets past them.
Yeah, I think. Oh, you know what? Let's do one thing before we get out of here.
I'll tell you right now, I'm fully rooting for the Bucks.
Oh, God,
100%.
No, it's not happening.
Well, Middleton's out, which is not great, but I love Giannis so much. He's such an amazing person, and he's so good. We talked about this, but there was that thing. It was a video. Maybe we didn't. There's a video of Jason Tatum that went viral where he's guarding Giannis, and it said Jason Tatum realizing Giannis is not Kevin Durant, and he was just like throwing him to the floor. And I'm like, my God, Giannis is an animal.
It's so funny to see like the stark difference in physicality between the first round and the second round across
Right.
all the series, right? Like I
Right.
don't think we saw any of that in the first
Right.
round. And the second round, people are just beating the shit out of each other.
Yes.
And like
it
this
is.
Boston-Milwaukee series is like straight up late 90s right now.
Right.
Like they're low
Yeah.
scoring,
Well,
hitting each
the
other.
defense, the Celtics play defense. The Bucks know how to play defense. They've got guys that can play defense. Yeah. Look, I know you want Celtics. Obviously, I don't even hate them. Like I like their players. I
get it. Giannis is likable.
I just like Giannis. Like I don't want him to go through his career where he only had one title and won this. He's so good that I want him to have multiple rings. I want him to have multiple finals MVPs. I want that to be a part of his storied career, as opposed to only won one title and that was it, and maybe one MVP. I think he's won a few, but like I want it to feel robust, to be up there with the all-time greats.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
I think he will be. I also think it's only going to get. This take could come back. I think it's going to get easier. I think more people are going to be down to go to Milwaukee for a year to go get a ring, and where it turns into
that'd be nice.
You know what was happening with Miami back in the day? Because I think everybody loves Giannis, man. Everybody wants to play with a guy like that. Like I think what's been impressive and this is both a compliment to the Celtics and to Giannis, is like Giannis hasn't been having great games in these playoffs.
Right.
I mean, against the Celtics, like the Celtics really have been slowing him down. Yet he's still putting up insane numbers, and it's just he's so good, man.
Yeah,
he's so good. I want to pull some of these up though. I did a total of 79 of these drafts for the playoffs.
Okay,
21 of my 79 made it into the next round.
Wow.
To get into round 3, you have to win your league, right? So there's 8 teams in a league. Right now, I have 6 or 7 are advancing, I think. But what's so fun about this is most of my stacks, and this is why I want the Grizzlies or the Grizzlies to go through, are Grizzlies and Celtics or Grizzlies and Bucks. It's like all of them. Oh, I get some Grizz Heat as well. But I just John Morant, man. This is just for the second round. This is just for the second round. In 2 games, has put up 141 fantasy points. It's incredible.
Dude's a beast.
Yeah, that's incredible. So I'm hoping now none of this is like real money yet right now. Like I would be getting some money back here, but if I get through this, I think it's 30,000 for first place. So we're hoping.
Wow.
But what's so fascinating about these drafts, I know I've talked about this before, is that if you stacked, right, like the Heat and the Suns, they might each only play 4 games in this round.
Right. You talked about having players on teams that will do 7-game series.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and now it looks like we're going to get at least 6 games out of both Celtics and Bucks and Grizz and Warriors. So I feel like these are going to get through, and I have some down here as well.
Right. Yeah, I think so too.
Anyways, but yeah, this has been fun. Shout out. I know Underdog's a sponsor, so clearly that was a paid ad. But,
so much fun.
I've been digging the best ball stuff quite a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Look at this. We're almost a 2-hour stream, baby.
It's like back in the day.
I know. I feel like I go for 2 more hours. I'm not.
No, definitely can't. Definitely can't.
Well, thanks everybody for hanging out today. Shout out to Michal and James for coming on and talking F1. As Kevin mentioned earlier during the WNBA stuff, they are going to be doing Kevin and Kelsey, the Watch Your Work show on Tuesday nights at 9:30 Eastern time. And that's going to become a weekly thing, which means you can get all the content in the world here.
Yeah, you literally can.
Yeah.
What do they want to talk? We talked about entertainment. We talked what are we missing?
It's true.
At this point?
Nothing.
Yeah.
We missed nothing.
Yeah.
We didn't really yell too much either. I think it was good times all around.
We talked about parenting. We talked about that as well.
We talked about parenting.
We could have a session about that as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else to plug. Join the Discord if you haven't done it. You can find that in the show notes. Shout out to our sponsors, Own the Moment, Flowlio, Underdog, promo code HOLD for it all. You know what I'm saying? Streaming longer than R. Kelly. Jesus Christ, Dan loves.
Wow.
And the Team Hold Media Network. I like that, Ryan.
Oh, there we go.
Good luck in the DFS streets, in the Top Shot streets, and all the streets. And we will see you on Monday. Dustin, what video are we playing on the way out?
Oh, man. Why don't we do a little Luka magic so we can get some Luka magic tonight for our Mavs?
Here we go. All right. Suns in 5 then. Let's look if Luka can get this game. We out.
Luka magic.